Jett is a very powerful agent that most players actually misplay. How's it going, guys? My name is Valued, and today I'm going to be giving you a quick and to-the-point guide to Jett. This video will assume that you know most of the basics of Jett, so we're just going to go right to the good stuff. The one thing everyone loves or hates Jett for is her dash. It's the most essential piece of utility in her entire kit. After her most recent nerf, the dash can't be used on the fly anymore. It now has an activation period. This means there's a little bit of skill involved with timing your dash. The moment you press E to activate the dash, you're on a timer. And wasting this piece of utility feels really bad, especially on attack. That's why it's important to know when to use your dash. The most common examples are when you know an enemy's position and you're about to challenge, or you know you want an entry for your teammates on a certain site. Having it to either dash into your smoke or just as a backup to take a duel and dash out if things go poorly. With your dash, seriously force yourself to think before activating this ability and be very intentional with it. One more thing a lot of Jett players don't utilize is adding a secondary keybind to this ability. My go-to choice for this is one of my mouse buttons, and here's why. You don't want to have to let go of your WASD keys to press dash. By adding a keybind to your mouse button, you'll be able to use it without interfering with your ability to move in any direction. This will take some getting used to, but it's seriously important, especially when you have to use your dash during a gunfight or another tense situation. Speaking of her dash, its best use, in my opinion, is to entry for your teammates. The ability to throw a cloudburst, dash into it, and the space that creates for your teammates to support you and get out on site is insane. As Jett, you shouldn't be in the middle of the pack, but rather leading the charge, taking space, and getting entry kills. If you find that you're just dying on your entry with no support from your team, don't give up on entrying, just communicate with your team and ask for some help. The most valuable thing anybody can give their team in ranked is an opening to a spike site. So if you master this part of Jett, you'll be climbing ranks in no time. The second strongest part of Jett's kit is her ability to get vertical. And so many Jett players don't take advantage of this part of her kit. The reason this is important is that most players won't have their crosshairs placed on vertical angles. The only time they'll be ready to clear vertical angles is if they're common angles, like on top of screens on Icebox, or if they hear your updraft sound during a round, or if they get information from something like a Sova dart. I could make a whole video about the verticality of Jett, but just play around with this and remember to use these vertical angles to switch up your holds on defense and your peaks in general. So this actually goes to my next point perfectly, which is talking about using your Bladestorm ultimate. First, you should almost never walk with this ultimate out, unless you're on a flank or some hidden position, because the most powerful part of this ultimate is the fact that you're hard to hit and completely accurate while moving. And because you're accurate while moving, this ability pairs super well with Updraft. So much so that there's actually some common ways that you can use Updraft to surprise your opponents. Here's just a few examples. On Haven's A site, if you're in A link and jump on this box, then double Updraft, you can see nearly the entire site. And if you do this when your teammates are pushing so the enemies are caught off guard, this is extra powerful. You can do the same thing on A long on the attacking side as well, as shown here. Another strong example is Fracture's B site, where Jett can glide from tower stairs to site box, glide to triple box, and then double updraft to get a nice angle. There's more of these lineups for almost every map. The important thing is to remember that the timing for these angles is tight. And while you'll likely surprise the opponents, you also need to be kind of quick to hit your shots because they will hear you updraft. It wouldn't be a Jett guide if I didn't talk about the operator. Jett is arguably the best agent to op with after Chambers nerfs, simply because her dash gives her a lot of versatility. In my opinion, you should save the opping for defense because, as I focused on in the rest of the video, Jett really is a great entry agent for attack. When it comes to your economy for opping, here's a couple of tips. If you win pistol round, keep your upgraded pistol with armor and some utility. That way, come round 4, you'll 100% have money for an op. And when you have Bladestorm, if you're an op player, don't buy any guns, just use your knights. Keep in mind that opping is expensive and you need to be conscious of your economy if you want to op often in a game. That's going to do it for our 5-minute guide to Jett. Hopefully these tips help you out. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. This has been Valued, and I'll see you in the next one.